Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to show you how to make homemade chicken noodle soup. Let's get started. First things first, we have the ingredients. So here I have about 1 pound of chicken. You can use whatever chicken you have on hand. Today I had legs. Previously I've done it with boneless, skinless chicken thighs. It's turned out great. The traditional recipes that I've seen have chicken breast, so that's completely up to you. Have some olive oil, onions, carrots, celery, garlic, bay leaves, dill, parsley, egg noodles, of course, salt and pepper to taste. And then one optional ingredient, it depends on what you would like your final taste of your soup to be, is some lemon juice. So first we're going to start with the chicken. Okay, again, I'm using my Ninja multi-cooker because it's easier to film. So I'm adding some olive oil to the preheated multi-cooker. I let that really come up to temperature so that the olive oil is kind of jumping, a little bit of smoke to it. Then I add my chicken, and I just want to add it in a single layer. So I'm using 4 chicken legs here. Make sure they don't stick. And you're going to see throughout this recipe, I'm going to add salt and pepper to each stage of the recipe. I feel like it makes the recipe taste more developed. So instead of just adding all the salt and pepper at the beginning and all the salt and pepper at the end, it actually puts flavor into each step of the soup. So I suggest this, but of course it's your soup. You can do anything you like, make it your own. Okay, so this is about 3 to 4 minutes in. The chicken is starting to pick up a really nice color. Keep in mind that all of the dark pieces that you see, brown or dark brown, are actually flavoring your soup. They're going to give it a really deep chicken flavor, better than you can ever get just from using broth alone. Now that the chicken has been cooked on both sides, we're going to remove it onto a separate plate. It has not been cooked all the way through at this point. We are adding it back into the soup where it will finish cooking, but we want to move forward with the vegetables at this point. Now to the same pan that we used to cook the chicken that has all of that flavor, we're going to start adding our veg. We're going to start with onions, and then carrots, and then celery. The most important thing here at this step is to make sure all of your vegetables are cut to the same size so that they cook evenly, so that you don't have some that are still firm in the soup and some that are mushy. This will make sure that the texture throughout the soup at the end is perfect. As previously mentioned, we're going to add salt and pepper at each stage of the recipe. So now that we've added the vegetables, we're going to add a good amount of salt and pepper, and salt will actually help the vegetables cook because the salt will draw out some of the moisture. Now we're going to add in the garlic. I don't add in the garlic at the time that I add the other vegetables because garlic has a tendency to burn. So this way, when I add the garlic, there's already some moisture from the vegetables in the pan, and it'll avoid the garlic scorching at all. Now it's time to add the star of the show back into the pot. Along with about 4 cups of chicken broth. You can use homemade chicken broth, or you can use the chicken broth that comes in a carton. In this instance, I actually use bouillon cubes diluted in water. It helps me always have chicken broth on hand. Because we need a good amount of liquid, I also added 2 cups of water. At this point, this is the time you want to give it a good stir to make sure everything's incorporated, and add your seasonings. I'm adding my bay leaf, parsley, and dill. We're going to give it another good stir, and we're going to allow it to cook covered for about 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, just depending on the cut of the chicken that you're using. Keep in mind that if you use bone-in chicken, it's going to take a little bit longer versus a boneless, skinless chicken thigh. Add some final salt and pepper at this point as well. Okay, once your chicken is cooked all the way through, you want to remove it from the soup. So I'm just removing it onto a plate so that I can remove the bone from the chicken. This is a step saver. If you're using bone out chicken thighs or breasts, you just remove it and you can immediately just chop it. Because I chose to use bone in, I have to then shred it off of the bone. I'm just using 2 forks because it's still relatively hot. And you just pull it away from the bone. It takes just a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, but it's completely worth it. After you've shredded all your chicken, you want to return it to the pot. And as you can see, those 4 chicken legs provide a good amount of shredded chicken to add back into the soup. At this point, you also want to add in your egg noodles. There are different types of egg noodles if you have any allergies, whether you would like them to be gluten-free or whole wheat. There's lots of options at your local grocery store. You want to add those in, give them a good stir, and let those cook all the way through. Mine only required, I think, 6 minutes to cook all the way through, and that was perfect tenderness for those noodles. Here's our final product. I served it alongside some yeast rolls, which is my next upcoming video. I would love to hear from you guys. What's your favorite soup for fall? Be sure to like and subscribe and leave me a comment down below. Thanks!